All right, functional training. So heading into the new year, there's going to be 1,000,000,001 trainers, and they're all going to try to sell you on functional training. Functional this, functional that. Everything's functional. Here's the deal. There's no such thing. There's no such thing as functional anything. The only thing that functional really means is when we talk about like one of my plays called functional anatomy, because I only call it functional because we're talking about like the muscles and kind of like where they attach in the body and how they function, and by that I mean like how do they move the limb. So that was just a discussion on the muscles and how they function. But we get into things like, oh, this is functional training. If you want to know what functional means, it simply means useful. So, and alternatively, we can just say like, hey, is the training that you're doing relevant to your goals? So depending on what your goals are, anything can be functional. There's no such like thing between functional and non-functional training, you know, and it's one of those buzzwords, it's running around out there. You know, everyone says, well, Turkish get-ups are functional, or this training's functional and that's not functional. Like, okay, it either benefits your goals or it doesn't. If your goals are hypertrophy and you want to build as much muscle as possible and you're really focused on body composition and nothing else, and you're spending all your time doing a bunch of farmer's carries and tire swings and battle ropes, there's nothing functional about that. You're just wasting your time. That's not gonna benefit you in terms of building muscle mass. You know, there's other, you know, in terms of exercises that are going to contribute towards your goals, those are some of the lowest training economy exercises you could ever perform. So like all that time you're spending swinging a hammer around to beat on a tire, you know, you could just spend that time doing more squats. You could spend that time doing more rows, you know, so, and then if you want to do it for the cardiovascular demands, you know, you're way better off spending that time that you're spending swinging a hammer at a tire by just running more, you know, by spending more time on the treadmill or the bike or hiking or doing some other form of cardio. You know, same thing for like mobility training. You know, there's no, you know, you want to do training that's specific and it's purposeful and it's very intentional towards specific goals. You know, you don't want to just like, well, this exercise is good for everything, because exercises that are good for everything are usually pretty poor at each of those things. Now, this isn't to like scare people away from doing movement. You know, this isn't to say like, oh, well, you should never swing a thing at a tire. You know, maybe that's just like a movement, like you've never chopped wood before, or you're just like swinging an implement around is like the most alien foreign thing to you, and you just want to learn how to like coordinate the movement a little bit. That's fine. Any exercise can be like useful in some context, but you know, for most people and most people's goals, it's usually not super relevant. That's my rant on functional training as we head into the new year, and you know, everyone's looking for like, you know, what kind of training should I do? Just eliminate the word functional from your vocabulary. Now let's start off by identify your goals and find those exercises and training modalities that are going to take you closer to your goals. And functional is literally, it's just a word that means useful. Anyways, that's all I got, and I'll see you guys later.